Eden's irises.
Garden's full of them.
Reuben wouldn't dare forget them.
I miss her so much, Daddy.
We all do, sweetheart.
You know, I always think of this as her place. I mean, I remember when she planned it, what was she, 14, 15? I was so impressed.
Almost from when you were born, she thought of you as her own special toy. She was always so protective of you.
A little too much sometimes, I think. I remember my first date, she practically had us followed.
And my orders. I tried to go to the office today. Really tempted to. Eden and I usually had some impromptu lunch meetings. And lasted about 25 minutes. Supposed to be all business, and about 25 minutes. And all of a sudden, she started talking about Cruz and the plans they had for each other.
Now you're stuck with me, right?
Don't you ever say that. Don't you ever say that. You're as special to me as anybody in this whole world. This time I proved it to you, too. How would you like to join the firm?
Daddy, I wouldn't be a good substitute for Eden there.
You'd be yourself, that's all I'd ask. Somebody to come in and take over when I'm ready to walk away. Your brothers aren't interested, that's for sure.
Yeah, but Daddy, what do I know about Capwell Enterprises?
You
Nothing.
sure picked up a hell of a lot of DPI.
Well, that was easy. It was on my instinct. I mean, it was cosmetics, Daddy. I know cosmetics.
Darling, you learn just what you need to learn. All it takes is a big percentage of just work, of experience, of just gut instincts. That's all it is. You don't have to rush into anything. You don't have to make any rash moves.
Whose intestinal intuition are we discussing?
Mine. Daddy was just asking if I would come over to the company someday.
Well, I thought that when you were asked to join the company, you got dubbed like a knight.
I think your sister's apprehensive enough without you adding your 2 cents, don't you think?
You know, Daddy, I think my fear would be just messing everything up.
And the beauty of being a Capwell is even if you do, nobody will have the nerve to tell you.
Oh, thanks a lot, Meyson.
What are you worried about, Kelly? You're young and energetic. You'll probably be running the company single-handedly in a month or 2.
You think so?
Well, sure. I don't see why not. You'll probably kick Dad out as CEO within a year.
What do you think, kid?
Daddy, I don't know. Let me think about it for a while.
Well, that's a conservative attitude. I appreciate that.
Sophia, I don't know quite what to say.
No, I know that. Since when did you and I ever have to say the proper things?
Hey, I'm not thinking of what's proper. I'm thinking of you. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Come in. See, now you've just saved me from having to mail you. Thank you. The flowers are beautiful.
You look tired.
Oh, yes, well, I am a little.
Has Brick been over?
He was here after we came back from the services, yes.
Yeah. He was supposed to be at the memorial service, but he didn't go.
No, that's all right. I told him he didn't have to. Maybe he couldn't say goodbye. Some people can't.
I don't think Brick will ever get over Amy's death.
You know what I want to do? I want to put my arms around my children so they'll never be hurt again.
You can't protect them from life.
Death. Lionel, you know, I have to finish these. I've got a million of these to write.
Hey, you know, why don't you just let all this wait? Let's take a walk. It's a gorgeous day outside.
Oh, no, I can't. I couldn't possibly. I mean, every time I turn around, there's something else I have to do. I don't even know why. That's all it is.
Concentration like that could be dangerous.
You know, I think they could declare war out there. I wouldn't notice.
Oh, you would. Especially if you had a stake in it, if there was something for you to gain from it.
Where's that coming from?
From a long night without any sleep.
What's wrong, Jeffrey?
I couldn't get Eden Capwell out of my mind.
Look, if you're upset, I think we should talk
Everything
about
about death is upsetting, Alex, especially when it happens to someone so young and so suddenly.
How's Kelly?
She's hurting. They all are.
So even СиСи isn't immune to grief.
Damn it, Alex, he lost his daughter. Yeah, before I came here, I had an image of the Capwells. I saw them as greedy, malicious people, but they're not. They can be very gentle and loving. You see, underneath it all, they're just a family.
It appears that Eden's death has changed you.
No, it's just opened my eyes. Whatever it is you're planning against the Capwells, do it without me. They've suffered enough. Now it's over, Alex. As of now, I'm out.
Johnny's really gonna love this, I tell you.
You know, it is an exact replica of Marlon Brando's in The Wild Ones.
I was like, no kidding, really?
Yeah.
You're crazy. Why'd you go and do this?
Well, I mean, you're paying me to work here, right? Well, where is the toddler to ride this thing?
Well, Jenny took him over to the babysitter.
Jenny took him over to the babysitter. Jenny took him to the beach. Jenny comes here. Seems to me that something's going on between you and Jenny.
She's just a nice kid.
Last time I looked, she was more than a kid.
I know what you're getting at. Just cut it out, all right? She's been very nice to me. In fact, I think Johnny's crazy about her. No big deal.
Well, why is that? Why not?
Because I just don't know. Look, it doesn't matter how nice she is. She's just not going to be Amy, that's all. I wonder if one can have what I had twice in a lifetime. I just don't think it's possible.
You never know until you try.
Amy's still a big part of my life, bro.
And she always will be. She should be, especially with Johnny now. But doesn't mean that you have to go ripping up your new lease on life already.
Well, no, I'm not doing that. I just feel uncomfortable right now. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for this dating game stuff.
Well, who
again.
said anything about dating? Take a friend out to dinner, go to the beach, a picnic, you know, the theater.
Yeah, you're right. Good idea. What are you doing tonight?
I meant a female friend.
I'll think about it.
Don't think, do. It's part of your new image.
Let me take care of my new image, all right? You take care of the bar?
You got it, Capitano.
See the way she ran out of here? First time I've seen her smile in days.
What'd you expect, Dad? You gave her the keys to the kingdom.
She can handle it.
No, I don't doubt it. I wonder what my chances would have been. Given a quick trip to the plastic surgeon, of course.
What are you babbling about?
The right of primogeniture, that quaint old custom. I would imagine that a quick sex change would up my potential 1,000%, don't you, Dad?
You drinking, Mason?
No, thinking. I'm wondering why it is that only your daughters were able never to disappoint you. Wondering if it had something to do with what you expected of your sons.
That's what this is all about, huh? Mason, you're a lawyer. You're not a businessman. I just assumed you really didn't want to be.
No problem, Dad. I'm sorry. Kelly is obviously eminently more qualified than I am, especially given her 10 full days in the rough and tumble world of rouge and powder puffs.
I don't want you undermining this thing for her. She needs it now. She needs this confidence.
I'm all for it, Dad. I think Kelly can do anything she sets her mind to. It's not the job I miss. It's the mention.
Excuse me, but I seem to remember after your ill-fated attempt at swallowing my company whole that you didn't want any part of Capwell Enterprises, remember?
Maybe you didn't look hard enough. What is it, Dad? My hair not blonde enough? My smile not have enough tooth in it?
I'm not up to another round with you, Mason.
Oh, the great Oz has spoken.
Why the hell not? You're a grown man. You make your own choices, don't you?
Unfortunately, a lot of choices were made for me about the time you decided that Pamela was out and Sophia was in.
Now you're bringing up ancient history?
I think what constitutes a real Capwell is relevant here. And unfortunately, the only real flesh of your flesh happens to be flesh of Sophia's, too.
You have never been grateful for one damn thing I ever gave you.
One question, Dad. Why did you keep me? Why didn't you let my mother raise me?
That is a ridiculous question.
Could it be that you don't really dislike me that much, but the woman who bore me instead? A simple case of guilt by association? If Jeffrey had come to us and introduced himself as Pamela's son, would you have trusted him any more than you do right now? It all boils down to Pamela, Dad. That's the reason you don't trust Jeffrey, and when you get right down to it, it's the reason you don't trust me.
So you think if you made peace with the Capwells, you could just forget Pamela and go on living the rest of your life?
All I know is that this plan of yours is not the answer.
A lot of money to be made here.
Oh, come on. Money isn't the issue here.
Yes, it is, in part. СиСи cheated me, and I'm giving you the chance to take him for a small fortune, Jeffrey.
You don't care about the money either, Alex. You hate him because he took my mother away from you.
Look, it would have been a different story if he loved her. He treated her like an ornament, like some kind of a possession.
Oh, she made her own decisions when she married him. You can't hate СиСи for that.
I can hate him for the years of neglect. Where was he when your mother was dying? Your brother turned a deaf ear.
Yeah, well, that's how it would appear, yes.
And is there something different now?
All I know is that someone has to take the first step. You know, my mother would have understood that. I can't go on living in the past, damn it. Kelly may just be the best thing to ever walk into my life. I'm not about to make the hell that she's going through any worse than
I have no quarrel with Kelly, and you know that.
But whatever you do to СиСи and the others with her turn, I'm not going to stand back and watch that.
Don't make an enemy of me.
You've got a brilliant career, Alex. You're on the brink of an historical discovery, but I'm warning you. Stay away from Kelly and her family. And I'm telling you, I'll do whatever I have to keep her from being hurt.
And here I thought I'd have to pole vault over barbed wire to get to see you.
Well, it's an interesting idea. I'll talk to the campus security about it.
You very busy?
Of course I am. What can I do for you?
Need to satisfy my curiosity, mostly. You know, these beakers don't look like they could hold millions.
My vaccine is important for many reasons.
All humane, I'm sure. But there are those of us who are interested for more mercenary reasons. I'll come right to the point, Doctor. I'd like a piece of the action. Have you sold the rights to the vaccine yet?
Not yet. But licensing and distribution, that's very expensive.
How much?
Conservative estimate, $2 million.
I'd hate to hear a liberal estimate.
I wouldn't think that figure would shock a Capwell. Are you here representing your father?
No, I'm my own agent.
But you know that your father is planning to bid on the distribution rights.
Yeah, that's hard to miss when he's just bought an entire pharmaceutical company. Has he made an offer yet?
He's raised the issue. But I'm not going to be rushed into a decision.
If I recall, you mentioned that the two of you were partners in a business venture some years ago.
That's correct.
And how did that turn out?
Not particularly well, and not at all for me.
So, you would be foolish not to consider all the alternatives, am I right?
Now, no matter who I enter into partnership with, Meyson, I'm going to make the best deal possible for me.
Goes without saying. The question is, can you afford to trust my father twice in a lifetime?
Thought at first maybe you had a new gardener.
What do you want, Lionel?
See, I wanted to tell you how sorry I am about Eden.
Garden needs a little work. She used to tend all these bushes when she was a teenager.
I was just up at the house. I saw Sophia. I'm a little worried about her.
She's stronger than most of us.
Maybe on the outside, but she seems to be. I've never seen her hide her feelings this way.
I forgot you're such an expert on my wife's feelings.
I'm her friend. I just think she's not dealing with Eden's death.
What the hell do you know about burying a child, huh? Your children are safe and sound. Thank God for it. Because one minute they're around, the next minute they're taken away. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. So what are you telling me?
I understand how you feel. The one thing that you and I have had in common all these years is that we love our children more than anything in the world.
Sophia needs time, that's all.
You're lucky to have each other.
Yes, we are. So why don't you, go home and find a wife of your own to worry about?
Nothing ever changes, you see, not even this.
Yes, I really am changed, Lionel. A lot. I'm not about to let you see me bleed. Thank you. Is that what you came here for? To hear a thank you?
No.
Thank you.
Why don't you go home to your own family? Leave me alone. I'll, take care of my wife and my family my way. Goodbye, Lionel.
Daddy and I had a long talk this morning. And he's really noticed my work around here. And, you know, I'm starting to see it as a stepping stone.
I don't understand.
We started off talking about Eden. You know, she had such a command of the business, of Daddy's business, and gave so much to it, I just took it for granted that I had no place there.
You never expressed any interest before.
Well, that was before. Anyway, Daddy just mentioned that maybe eventually I could carry on where Eden left off.
Oh.
Don't you think it's a good idea, Mama?
Well, it's not that. I'm so surprised. He didn't mention this to me. You'd be wonderful if it's what you really want.
Well, I mean, I never really thought of myself as a businesswoman, but Ma, I'm good at it. I really am.
Well, I know. I just don't want to let your father make unfair demands on you.
Oh, no, he's not making demands.
Well, honey, it has to be your choice.
This is the first time he's ever really taken me seriously, you know? He never expected anything from me until now.
Promise me one thing. No matter what you decide, it's going to be your decision. Don't do it for your father, or for me, or even for Eden's memory.
I will.
I'm sorry if I seem to be taking too much care of you. You're the only
No, I know. And you're my only mother. So I'll let you.
Marie, if you'll just take these downstairs to the basement, I'll decide what to do with them tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Wait a minute. What do you think you're doing? Is that the box Inspector Castillo brought over here?
I was going to put the box downstairs in the basement, СиСи.
Bring it back to my daughter's bedroom now. Now.
Just leave it here. I'll handle it, thank you.
I hope I'm not going to be scolded.
We have to put these things away sometime.
Why now? It's too soon.
I'm going to give them to charity. I just couldn't bear to get rid of them yet.
I need to snap. I'm sick and tired of everybody thinking that, just trying to forget about Eden, that's all.
I am not trying to forget about Eden. For God's sakes, I never could, and I never would. But one of us has to be realistic.
As long as I'm alive, a memory will be strong in this house as if she is still here. Do you understand that?
And you'll do anything to perpetuate it, whatever the cost of the living. I was in Kelly's office today. Whatever are you trying to do?
What are you talking about? What did I do?
Kelly is under the impression from you that she's going to take over the business one day.
We discussed it. If she does well and moves up at Delta, I don't see any reason why she couldn't.
She's not Eden. And you cannot mold her into the image of Eden. If you do, you'll make her miserable, and it won't bring Eden back.
Listen to me. I love Kelly every bit as much as you do. And I would not do that to her.
Not intentionally, maybe, but СиСi, Kelly has her own special gifts. What if she doesn't live up to your idea of what you wanted to be in business? What then?
I just want to give her a little confidence, a little direction, that's all. Is that so terrible? I'm not forcing her into anything. I'm just giving her something to strive for.
Don't push her. Don't mold her into something that you want her to be. You are so strong. I don't think that you really understand the effect of your strength on your family, including me.
Mark, I've gone over them 4 times. There's not one person here that'll be right for the Evertan thing. Okay, listen. Let me just have a meeting with my people and see what we come up with, all right? All right, but keep searching. Okay, bye.
I heard you were in. I had to come and check the rumor out for myself.
Well, the rumor is true. Listen, I had a copy of the print ad thing on my desk. I can't find it anywhere.
Oh, I proofed it for you and sent it down to the art department.
Oh, thanks.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Did you, get the budget updates?
No, not yet. They haven't come in.
Okay, well, I'd really like to get together with you before we do any more marketing costs and stuff like that, and we need to choose a model for this thing. I can't, there's so many beautiful faces. None of them work for what we want, though.
Yeah, well, I told the agent to send some girls over. Maybe we'll see something in person, you know?
Good, okay. And, you know, also, we should talk to legal about getting this exclusive contract when we do find some, because, Jeffrey, they're not going to give us the money for this
Kelly,
campaign. It's not going to work.
Kelly, slow down, slow down.
I'm afraid to, Jeffrey.
Is there anything I can do?
You know, I try not to think about her, and then... I don't know, I feel guilty.
Look, why don't you go home for the day? I mean, it's too soon for you to be worrying about all
You know, when Joe died, I had this pain for weeks, and I thought then that I would never have to feel it again. Boy, was I wrong.
this. Hey, listen to me, listen to me. One day, you're gonna wake up smiling, and you'll be thinking of all the good times you and Eden shared.
You think of the times you and your mother had?
Look, I don't know why Eden had to die. And I don't understand why these things happen to people that we love. But you're not alone, Kelly. Let me help you. You don't turn away from me now.
Well, another mini family reunion. Being a Capwell means never having to say you're lonely.
How's it going, Miss?
I haven't had a drink yet. Ask me in 5 minutes. May I join you, Sophia? It's your step-maternal duty.
Of course, when you put it that way.
Thank you, Brick. Everywhere I go, I'm surrounded by family. I have stepmothers and half-brothers and half-sisters. I haven't quite decided what Brick is yet. I'd like to propose a toast to my father. His children are created equal, just some more than others.
What's happened now, Mason?
It's what hasn't happened, Sophia, but in my own ingenious way, I figured out a way to even up the odds.
What's СиСи done?
He's just strewn Kelly's professional path with homegrown roses. All she has to do is make a few right moves, and she'll be right on top of the Capwell heap.
Just trying to help her deal with Eden's death.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think Kelly might be able to make even Dad look bad in the boardroom once she gets her feet wet.
He didn't do it to hurt you, Mason.
You'd think I'd get used to it.
Janie, if you're such good friends with him, why do you let him stay cooped up here? Why not take him out?
Brick is doing fine, Pearl.
Fine. So would a movie hurt? How about a home-cooked meal?
Obviously, I've never tasted my cookies.
Janie, you are so old-fashioned. I mean, is it bad to ask a friend out if the friend happens to be a guy? What's the big deal?
You're making it sound like a date.
Me? Did I use that word? Did I?
Come on, I don't think he's ready yet, I can tell.
Jane, you're giving the modern woman a bad name.
Look, if Brick wants to ask me out, he'll ask me.
I tell you, between the two of you, you were driving this old-fashioned romantic here right up the wall.
Oh, Tom, this is just what I need. Where did you get this?
I'm not photographer Tom, but I am a pretty fair shot with a beach ball.
Where did you get this?
Props. We're gonna need it later. Right now, I propose we put Evertown on hold for the rest of the day and take a nice long walk on the beach. The real beach, that is, outdoors.
Oh, Jeffrey, I'd love to. I've got to get down to graphics to see Atkins. I mean, we've got to do this photo thing, and I've run a tight schedule, you know.
Fine. You go to your meeting, but you've got 1 hour to get down there and back up here, and don't eat anything on the way.
What have you got planned here?
How does an early supper cooked over a roaring campfire sound?
Sounds good.
I'll meet you in my office 1 hour.
Jeffrey. Thank you.
Pleasure's all mine. What are you doing here, Alex?
Look, Jeffrey, I've been thinking about your visit this morning.
I mean it, Alex. I want Kelly and her family left alone.
You could be right. Maybe you're right. Maybe I have put too much of my life trying to get back at СиСи Capwell.
Listen, man, your work could help millions of people. Yeah, that's what's important here, not some old feud.
I know, and that is good advice.
Really?
Yes, no, I mean it. But it brings me to a question, Jeffrey. Are you willing to join me?
Oh, yeah, it's got nothing to do with me.
No. If I'm going to forgive Sisi, are you willing to make amends with his son? Are you prepared? Are you prepared to forgive Mason for letting your mother die?
Whoa, what's going on? Bought 4 bottles of wine.
Well, they're my bottles of wine, yeah. I have a very special friend up north who runs a winery, and I promised him that I would taste the fruits of his labors.
Yeah, well, we can't do that right now. I got a business trip.
Well, business is going to be great PR for your business, you see. You give freebies to all these people.
Well, we don't
around.
even know what the wine tastes like.
No. What time is it?
It's 3:30. Why?
Oh, no, I got to run. I got to go to the dentist. Yeah. The dentist, I'm late.
Sure. Whoa. Moment. What do we do with all this wine here?
Well, you can taste it.
I don't have the time.
For me. What do you mean you don't have the time?
Well, because I'm not a wine connoisseur.
Oh, there's no problem at all. There's a notepad right by the phone, right there, and I'll explain everything you need to know about wine. Right?
Well, I have no time this afternoon to do this.
There, what you need is a wine taster, right?
Wine taster.
You cannot be a good wine connoisseur without a wine tasting companion. Jane! Hey, yo, Jane, come here. You owe me a major league favor, right? So how would you like to spend the afternoon with Brickle here, tasting this wonderful wine? Does that sound difficult?
Well, I saw it done once in a class.
I like a woman with experience.
I bet.
Now, as far as this guy goes, he's an amateur, you see? You check how the light strikes the wine.
Okay.
The bouquet, that's the sniff, the color, the clarity, and then down the hatch. It's very simple. It's fun, and it's legal.
Okay, I got it. That's it. I know what to do.
Well, I shan't be long because I've got good tea.
Oh, I bet.
So, enjoy. It's legal. It's fun. And
Bye.
Vino Veritas.
Bye. Vino Veritas?
It's an old saying, in wine there's truth.
Yeah.
We really gonna do this?
Allow me.
Hey.
Okay, what do we have here? All right, Cabernet Sauvignon, 1983. Take a look at this, okay.
So far, so good.
Very nice. Clear as a bell. Hope it doesn't taste like vinegar. Very good. It's very red. Let's write that down.
Next, we need to clear the palate.
No, let's forget clearing the palate. Should go to the next bottle.
Okay, let's see what we have here. Lover's Leap, Chardonnay.
Lover's Leap.
84.
You folks. Lover's Leap. Okay. What do you think?
Elegant bouquet.
Yeah.
A sparkling wheaten color.
Oh, my. Oh, very, very good. Yes, but how does the wine taste? Very nice. Yes, Pearl's friend must have a way with grapes.
Pearl also has a way with Pearl's friends.
It's getting better all the time. What's it called again? Lover's Leap.
That's what it's called.
I'll tell you what, let's have a toast to, wait a second, I want to toast first. To Lover's Leap. Look out for the first step, because it'll kill you.
You've been very busy.
I thought I'd plant a new one in her memory.
It's a beautiful gesture.
A little remind me, how much you love this spot. It'll watch over it for her.
We haven't been very kind to each other lately.
I'm sorry. I really am. I've been off in my own world.
I thought something like this would bring us closer together. I don't know why.
Darling, don't have to explain.
Why didn't you tell me about the tree?
I guess I wanted it to be Eden's and my last secret.
She'd like that. You and Eden don't have to worry. I won't tell a soul.
Did you fire the maid, or did Rosa quit again?
Sophia told me she saw you at Johnny's.
That was a couple of drinks ago. I'm much better company now.
Well, you don't have to stand out there. Come on in.
You're too gracious, Dad.
Mason, I'm sorry that you misunderstood my offer to Kelly.
Oh, I understood it all too well, Dad. It was one of your clearer moments.
Look, I wasn't trying to exclude you or Ted or Brandon, for that matter. If I had my own way, you'd all be part of the company's future.
Well, that'll make a nice family picture, won't it? Maybe they'll come through for you.
You are so bitter.
No, I'm not. I'm a lawyer with a brilliant future, he said modestly. Besides, if I were an embittered son, would I hit on you for a favor?
What is it, Mason? What is it?
Well, I had a little surprise waiting for me when I got back to the office. One of the senior partners is retiring. I have a chance to buy his share of the firm.
How much does it cost me now?
$2 million. We at Smith, Caulfield, and McKenna have a very high opinion of ourselves. I'm just not quite that liquid at the moment.
I think it can be arranged.
Well, if a guy can't bum $2 million off his dad, who can he bum it off of?
I have a check for you ready in the morning.
Good. I'd like the loan drawn up, just like any other contract.
You know, we don't have to settle the arrangements now, you know.
Well, no, I'd like it all spelled out, though.
Mason, once Victoria has the baby and it's a boy, the loan can be repaid from the inheritance you would get from my father.
Victoria's very talented, Dad, but I don't think even she can order up the gender of her child.
Well, then if it's a girl, you can have a full year to repay back the loan at the current interest rate. How's that?
Thanks, Dad. I think you've made a wise investment.
I am glad you're doing something with your future.
Oh, yeah, I'm on the move, Dad. You'd be amazed at how far I'm going. And just think, I owe it all to you.
I'm looking at her, and she's looking back at me. All of a sudden, this car hits me from behind. I'm going right straight for Dolores. I tell you, I left the entire front alignment on the right of the curb right there.
Did you hit her?
I missed her by about that much, but she never spoke to me again.
Shoot, it wasn't your fault.
Yeah, tell that to Dolores. Tell you what, I used to show off a lot back then, you know? I guess I was just trying to be cool.
What teenager doesn't?
Yeah, but girls don't seem to do that, you know?
Don't you believe it?
Really? What about you? Did you ever used to pretend that you were something that you're not?
Sure, most of us do.
I'm not talking about most of us, I'm talking about you.
Yeah, I have. Except I wasn't a kid. I've had a lot of problems, especially with men.
If you don't want to talk about it, it's all right.
No, I do. I like talking to you.
It's the lover's leap.
You know, Brick, never been very confident in myself. I used to pretend. A lot.
Don't be embarrassed. Let me tell you something. I streaked once through the main tent of the circus.
Wish my pranks were that silly and harmless.
What is it?
Nothing, it's just the wine talking.
The truth, as Pearl said, huh?
Not this time. Look, I've got to go. Thank you.
Well, wait a second. It's still early.
I made plans.
Well, let me call you a cab, because I don't want you to drive or anything.
No, I'm not going to drive. I'll take the bus.
Well, you got all this wine here to taste. I mean, you're one hell of a wine taster. Well, all right. Thanks again, anyway.
See you soon.
Yeah, I hope so, or else Johnny's going to have a fit.
You give him a kiss from me. Right back.
Well, wait. Forgot something.
What?
Thanks for this afternoon. And tonight.
Yeah, well, as much as I'd like to, I can't take credit for the sunset. Hey, you warm enough?
Mm-hmm.
You know what this reminds me of? When we first met.
Only we're not being followed this time.
No. Just old memories.
What's wrong, Jeffrey?
Hey, I wanted to comfort you, remember?
I never thanked you for getting me out of the office today.
That's all right. You needed a break. We both did, for that matter. Your family weren't the only ones affected by Eden's death.
I've noticed. It surprises me a little. You didn't know her that well.
I knew how close you were. I wanted to be with you through the whole thing. I just kept pulling back.
Because of Meyson?
Because I haven't been completely honest with you. I've let my past get in the way.
Jeffrey, what did Meyson do to you and your mother?
He ignored her when she needed him most.
Oh, Jeffrey, he wouldn't do that.
Let me finish. Let me say this. You see, we never had much money. My mother was a very proud woman. And when she became ill, money was even tighter. So I took on another job, and I tried to keep things going. She just kept getting weaker.
What was wrong with her?
She had a rare viral infection. A long Latin name related to meningitis.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, treatment was very expensive. And when complications set in, the doctors wanted to perform surgery. But we didn't have insurance. My mother was too proud to take charity. She waited so long. But she finally wrote to Meyson, asking him for the money for treatment. And he never answered her letter.
Oh, I don't believe that. Jeffrey, maybe it was lost in the mail. Anything could have happened to it.
She wrote again, Kelly. She wrote 4 letters pleading for help. And he ignored every one. I mean, it was bad enough that she was so sick without having her own son all but tell her
Jeffrey,
that she wasn't worth keeping alive.
He wouldn't do that.
But he did, Kelly. He might as well have killed her himself. Oh, God, she couldn't stand depending on anyone. It broke what little spirit she had left. And Meyson could have saved her life, but he didn't care. He let her... He drove her to take her own life.
Meyson wouldn't ignore Pamela. He loved her. Here. Jeffrey, talk to him. I know he can explain this to you.
Kelly, I can't even stand being in the same room with him.
Will you give him a chance? If not for you, for Pamela? I mean, she loved him so much she reached out to him. She would not want this to go on.
Kelly, I told you this. I don't want to hurt you any more than I already have.
Jeffrey, you've got to face Meyson with the truth. I know who he is. And he is capable of being warm and loving.
He's a bloody murderer. And I don't want to have to deal with him anymore.
You're wrong about that.
Wrong? God, I wish I were. I wish I could know that, Kelly.
If you don't do it for her, do it for me. This has kept us apart long enough. I missed you. I've missed you so much.
I'm so afraid to cry, Eden. Because if I do, then I have to admit that you're not coming home. And I can't do that. Because you're still too much a part of me. It's so hard to find any happiness anymore, baby. But I should be happy. I am for everything you've given me. When the doctors put you in my arms, you are so beautiful. The prettiest infant I'd ever seen. And you know what? It was a whole new beginning for your dad and me. It's our precious Eden. I don't want to lose you. I don't want to forget one single moment. I want you here with me now. I want you back in this garden where you belong. I want to see you. I want to see you running through the house, Eden. Oh, dear God, why did you take her from me? Why did you have to take my baby away?
I'm Tom Bro. Some of the most interesting people you'll ever meet, discussing the surprising and provocative, the timely and important. Donahue brings you the people and the issues weekday mornings at 10, following the Oprah Winfrey Show on Channel 2.